Well, hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Jake here with you. This is part 2 of our 350 conversion Reliant kit. Just going to take you through today and kind of give you just a little bit of an update. Not going to be doing any work today on it, so just going to take you through today and just show you what I've done and gotten accomplished on it so far. It's been quite a interesting kit so far to do. I'm looking forward to it. It's quite messy to do work with, actually, so but I'll take you through and show you what's been going on with that. If some of you may notice, I've gotten some new shirts in, Demko Modelworks t-shirts in, and if you'd like to have one, just let me know. I'll put up my email address. It's jdemko80@gmail.com, and you can, if you want one, just send me up and say, hey, I like a t-shirt. It'll be, we'll work out, the pricing on it. I think it's costed, around $10 plus tax, plus shipping to get one out. But if you want one, just let me know and I'll get you one. I'll be putting in an order here at the beginning of February and ordering some more. So just let me know, the size that you want, and we'll go from there. So, but now we'll swing you over to the bench and show you what's going on with that. So we'll be right back, guys. Stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome back to the bench here. As you can see, what we have in front of me here is I now have the saucer section, the top saucer section connected to the back here. And if you notice, I cut out this piece. And let me tell you something, folks, that was quite something to deal with. I ended up using my Dremel tool and a hacksaw blade to cut the Dremel tool, cut out with the Dremel most of the way around, and then I used a hacksaw blade where the Dremel, little Dremel wheel wouldn't fit in all the way. So I just used my hacksaw blade. That's the reason why you see that blue right there. I used my hacksaw blade to kind of cut through, right there where it was real thick and whatnot. So, but I've gotten all my holes drilled on the either side of the sides of this, the main body. Oops, sorry, I didn't realize y'all wasn't in shot. Let me move the camera up here just a little bit. There we go. Let me zoom in so you can see. But you can see I've gotten the holes drilled now for all these over here. And let me tell you something. When they tell you that this is going to make a mess when you cut in this, I promise you it makes a mess. Last night when I just cut out the back section here, I ended up with a handful of and I'm talking about almost a snowball size handful of resin dust, and glad I cut it outside and not in here, because man, I would have never gotten it all out of here if I had, because it was, when Boyd says it's thick, and there's a lot. It will make a mess. When I was cutting out my window holes for this, I had to use my Dremel and the shop vac going. While I was holding the shop vac going, I was drilling out my windows, and it was kind of a tricky thing because this thing was wanting to move all over the place, and so I had to use my shop vac to hold up here to catch the dust, because I mean it made a mess. I'll just put it to you that way. And but it's all attached now, and what I've done now is I know it looks like a hot mess, but believe me, I went through and I did some research, and this was the best way. Some people will just put fibers right through here and cover it over with epoxy, and I just took some sheet styrene and blended across. I know it looks a little messy, but once it's inside and light blocked and everything, you're not going to see it. So, and then I took some epoxy and just brushed it on, and it worked real good. So I'm real pleased. So this thing's it's not going anywhere now. But I also took two pieces of pole, and on either side there, to give it some some heft to where it's not going to want to bend. But now, I mean, like I said, we're going to have to do some more grinding on this thing, especially back here in the back toward the shuttle bays, because I'm going to probably be using the shuttle bays. I've got some clear resin to cut out that goes, you know, you cut out pieces right here for the shuttle base to sit in. You know, we're gonna have to do with my, I have to take my angle grinder and go through and just lightly grind some of this thick stuff off. I mean, that's solid there, and I'm gonna have to grind out something here, because this is where the, on this side, I'm gonna have to take my grinder and just kind of grind it down a little bit, because right here is where our wires and stuff are gonna go through. It didn't do it on this side, but there's a big glob right here on this side, if you can see. So, but it's going, you know, it's starting to come together, guys. I've gotten all the holes drilled out around the BC deck on both sides of the top side. I started drilling out my holes for my lights on top. I still got to go through and drill out this little section here, and there's a couple of lights that go on either side here. So, and then I'm going to be drilling the holes out back here for the impulse crystals. So, and I still got to drill out the window yet for the officer's lounge, and I'm probably going to be using the hang on, just let me grab it if I can find it. But we're probably going to be using the probably going to find a way to mount this little thing in here. Probably going to cut these walls off. This is the officer's lounge for the refit. What I'll probably do is cut these walls off here to kind of modify it a little bit, and then figure out a way to get it, because it's gonna, here's that officer's lounge window. So I'll probably have to do some, you know, some serious modifications, take this wall down just a little bit here in the back, and then, you know, these walls down here, or I might end up just using some sheet styrene to kind of fill it in a little bit, but it'll set in about like this. You're not going to get a real good view of it, because this window on the back side here is real tiny. So we'll have to go through and kind of open it up just a little bit. And I'm hoping that my buddy Cameron is going to start coming up with some brass here soon for this kit. So you know, we're going to be, you know, we're not going to be doing a whole lot on this, you know, every week. You know, maybe do just a little bit on it once a week or so, and just kind of show a progress on it, because there's so much you have to do to this kit. It's just absolutely amazing the amount of work that you have to do on this. But now I can go back through and clean up these little pieces here, and these are the pieces that sit right there. And so we'll go through there. I'll go through there this weekend and get all my puttying done, my filling done, and get these things set in. And then before I get ready to close this thing, get ready to after I paint everything, I'll paint the little pieces here that are supposed to be the intermediate blue. I'll get these painted in, and I'll get all this stuff, primed and painted and whatnot. And oops, I dropped a piece. But that's the general idea of what's going on now, folks. And let me flip this over, and I'll put this back piece on, set it down on top, and you are going to have to do some filling, gap filling and whatnot. You got to go back through and clean all this up, because of the wheel takes out so much. I mean, these wheels are probably about 1/16 of an inch thick, and you do lose a lot of a lot of material cutting this out. So you are going to have to do some gap filling on this. But one thing I will warn you about: you cannot use the regular tester's glue with these resin kits. You have to use. I would suggest go by your Hobby Lobby or your Hobby Town and pick up some CA glue. This at Hobby Lobby was the smaller of the tubes, but they had bigger tubes there. But this was $4, $5. This piece was $5, but with a 40% off coupon at Home Depot, at Hobby Lobby, you can get it for quite a bit less. Or you can go by your Hobby Town, and I use this CA glue quite a bit as well. This Instacure, and I use this purple one, the purple one here, which is the gap filling medium glue set. This is a 5 to 15 second set time, cure time, so you have just a few minutes to get it moved around before it completely sets. But you are going to have to go back through and use some putty in all this stuff and whatnot. But let me get the saucer section put on here, the lower saucer section put on here, and take you through that and show you just how it's going to look once we get it set down. Let me get it to where I can catch some of these pins. There we go. I wouldn't plan on doing too much, setting it down in there too much, because you're going to end up losing the pin bill. But right here you can see how just, once it gets set down in there, we're going to have to go back through here and do some trimming up on this. Probably end up losing quite a bit of this, but you can see here on the back side, once with this saucer set in place, just how much more extra we're going to end up losing off the back side of this, because you can see there it's got a lip that's sitting there. So we'll probably have to just take a Sharpie marker and just take that and mark it down to where I can get it set down there, and then just grind off a little bit of there, and then round it off with my Dremel and some sandpaper and whatnot, and go from there. So, but I have started drilling in the holes for the lights that go under here, and the one that goes for the lower sensor dome, or I'm sorry, not the lower sensor dome, but the lower impulse crystal. In the movie, this had just the natural flow, the natural flash of the navigational lights. It just had that real slow flow flash. So that's probably what I'll do with this one, and then I'll make the top the regular impulse deck there. But anyway, that's just about it on that, guys. Like I said, we'll be picking up some more on this weekend, doing just a little bit more, and then we'll have another update for you probably next Friday. May have one for you Wednesday and one Friday. So but until then, guys, that's it. Just trying to kind of keep you up to date on this, and go from there. So we'll keep you up to date on everything, and looking forward to getting this thing done. We'll be doing some more work on the nacelles and getting the bottom pieces cut off on that, and going from there. So until then, guys, take care. We'll see you around the community. Happy modeling, everybody.